How's it going, everyone? It is a cloudy Wednesday morning here, but quite refreshing. I actually don't mind the changing of the seasons into fall, but here I am next to this plant, which I believe is either a squash, a watermelon, or maybe it's pumpkin. I'll let you guys figure out what it is, but I am curious as to what kind of fruit this really is. And of course, I picked off a flower. And when it comes to finding ways to improve your mood and put your spirits up, well, I have found that gardening and growing your own fruits and vegetables and even figuring out which flowers are edible has immensely helped with improving mood and just kind of like connecting with nature. And I decided to pick this flower off. Whatever it is, it has become one of my favorite flowers to actually consume. Yes, who would have ever thought that vegetables, those things that a lot of people used to dread eating as a child, it's like, oh, I don't want to eat my vegetables, but vegetables don't have to be that bad after all. They can add a lot of color to your dishes and add a lot of flavor, spice, whatever it may be. Growing your own fruits and vegetables is the way to go, because for one, you don't have to worry about all the different pesticides they use and commercial products. And see here, I think there's another plant here that's growing. There it is. You might be able to see it. There we go. And this is, by the way, this is a male flower. And the way you tell between a female and a male flower is the male has only like one bud in it, whereas the female has like several. And the female is actually attached to the fruit. And I guess the bees pollinate from the male and then drop off the pollination into the female. I think that's how it works, but it's pretty cool. And so yeah, this is gonna be a small part of my breakfast this morning. And it's just interesting that I would have never thought that something so bright and pretty looking could actually be edible. Because you always think like, oh, the brighter it is, or the more colorful it is, it could be poisonous. Well, not necessarily so. And what's really cool about these, and it's not so much maybe the nutrients that can help with mood or giving you those nutrients, but these things are actually really fun to eat. And the reason why I say that is, it may be hard to tell, but they've got like little hairs on them that kind of resemble the same thing that nettles have on them. Now, you all know nettles, those painful, itchy plants. If you come into contact with them, they can kind of create a lot of grief in your day. Well, these flowers have like those little, like, I guess you could call them like little mini spines on them. It's got like that same sensation of a nettle, but it doesn't hurt at all. And you may be wondering, do you have to cook these before you can consume them? No, actually, you don't have to cook them at all. You can actually eat them raw. And that's been the way I've been eating them, is raw, uncooked. I suppose you could probably make these into a delicious tea, boil some hot water, maybe dry the leaves a little bit, or just leave them as is and then make a tea out of it. But really, I prefer just to eat them right off, after they've been connected to the earth. I don't know, it just feels like it's a great way to kind of like uplift your mood, to kind of put yourself in better spirits, because after all, I mean, it is grounding from the ground up. And it's funny, I'm not going to do it in this video, but I guess I got to give the backstory as to what got me into like growing my own, or helping my roommate grow his own garden, growing our own fruits and vegetables, eggplant, tomatoes, cucumber, peppers, bell pepper, habanero pepper, mini bell peppers. So it's kind of an interesting story and I will say that my love of eating hot peppers and spicy foods actually got me into gardening. And what got me into eating spicy foods was when I was living with a woman that I had met from the hiking group. So that's kind of like a rough, very short story that can be kind of drawn out. But all right, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of enjoy this, because normally I kind of eat them in like one go, but delicious. Okay. So you may be wondering, what kind of flavor does it have? Well, that's leading me to believe that that very well could be squash, because the flower actually tastes a little bit like squash. It's got a sweet taste to it, not very bitter at all. It's actually really good. It's become, like I mentioned, one of my favorite flowers to eat. But here's another thing, guys. I have also learned that, you know, those things that kind of are associated with Valentine's Day. I know that's a ways off away, and it's one of those days that I dread, but I have the feeling that I've got another reason to dread it even less. Yes, much, much less. And there is a flower that we all associate with Valentine's Day, and that is the rose. Yes, roses. Oh, I've been reading up on whether or not roses are edible, and supposedly they are, but as a disclaimer, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to go out there and research whether or not roses are edible. I'm throwing that as a disclaimer because I don't want someone to go out there and eat a rose or eat a flower or a daisy or something and be like, hey, well, that guy said it was edible. So just as a disclaimer, go out there, read up on it for yourselves, go look at, are roses edible? Look at the different articles, and then you guys can figure out if you guys want to eat roses or not. But as far as what I've read, and I trust that I've read, you know, a decent amount of articles, so I'm just going to take what I've read, so you guys can do the same thing. Go out there, do your research, so don't blame it on me if something goes awry. But I just want to show you this, that roses, oh yeah, it can be a resemblance of that day that some of us may dread, but we don't no longer have to dread it, because what I'm about to show you is that this rose here, this is a rose here, is perhaps one of the most delicious forms of vegetables. Yes, it's hard to believe that. I guess you could technically say this is a vegetable right here. And nice and pink, like it's like a good, beautiful pink, kind of a dark pink color. And so I'm not gonna consume the whole thing, but I figure I will show you guys that, you know, even the smell of it, smells so good and so sweet. And I ate a few petals of it yesterday, and it was like the taste of it was like jaw-dropping. I mean, it was so delicious. That was like, I have to save this for tomorrow for my day off when I'm not working, so that I can really savor the taste of it. But I'm going to go ahead and peel off a rose petal right here. I'm just going to peel off one because I want to. Okay, so I got myself a rose petal here. Oh, that is so delicious. That is so delicious. I can go ahead and consume another one for you guys here. Okay, so how actually, I really hate to do it. I really want to be able to, why not? Okay, I just want to make sure that I do this without, because this is so interesting. I would have never thought that roses were, that I would have discovered in reading that you could eat roses. But yeah, I read a few different sources are like, yeah, roses are edible, but you don't, I will say this, you don't want to eat roses that you find like at a grocery store or at a nursery, because they've more than likely been treated with pesticides. And that is what can do a lot of harm, is consuming anything that's been treated with pesticides. Luckily, these roses here have not been treated with any kind of pesticide. They're natural. So I want to really make sure I can savor and enjoy these rose petals. Oh, just a taste of it, and just the fact that you're eating something that you never thought you could have eaten, something that's so beautiful, and it's got such an awesome taste. So to describe the taste, to me, it's like eating strawberries and apple. Yes, that rose right there is like a combination of strawberry and apple. So there you have it, guys. And I got to get this off because I got a little something on my hand here. Just a little, okay, there we go. All right. So I guess it goes to show that those your least favorite fruit that may have been while you were growing up, which for me was vegetables. I used to despise eating vegetables. I was just like, oh, I can't stand them. But it can perhaps turn out to be some of your most favorite things to eat. Leaves, flowers, different kinds of fruits. So I just wanted to make this video. So yeah, there are definitely a multitude of ways to kind of uplift your spirits, kind of connect with nature, and just kind of put yourselves in a better mood. So that's what I've got for you guys today. And I still need to get to how I saved my 40s, yes. But I'm not going to go into that in this video. I just wanted to kind of leave this video solely to like just appreciating the ability to be able to grow your own fruits and vegetables. You don't need to have a big garden. You can get so you're thinking, oh, you may have to have a big garden to grow your own fruits and vegetables. No, yeah, I mean, even if you live in a small apartment, if you've got your deck or any place where you can get sunlight, you can grow your own plants and like get yourself some vases, I think is what they're called. Get some dirt, get some good dirt with that's got adequate nutrition. Read up on how to plant your own fruits and vegetables if you live in a tight place, and there you go. You too can have your own grown fruits and vegetables that are not treated with pesticides and that can help make you feel more connected with the earth and nature. And with that being said, I want to thank you all for your continued support. And I think I'm going to wait a little bit and have this as part of my breakfast and throw it in my cereal. Oh, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Godspeed.